In this episode of Film Stock Reviews, I'm reviewing Home Sweet Home Alone. Home Sweet Home Alone is the sixth movie in the Home Alone franchise and tells the story of 10-year-old Max, who is left home alone during Christmas, while his family goes to Tokyo for the Christmas holiday season. Now, like the first movie, he has to protect his home from burglars. But there is a twist. These burglars are not the burglars who you think they are. Rob Delaney and Ellie Camper play Jeff and Pam McKenzie, who are a married couple who are having dire financial straits. And in order to do that, they have to sell their home without telling their kids that they're doing that. Now, I do want to say this movie is very different than the first Home Alone movie that starred Macaulay Culkin as Kevin McAllister. It is one of the biggest Christmas movies of all time. And now this premiered on Disney Plus November 12th, 2021 on Disney Plus Day. Now, why did I say it was different? It's different because the movie isn't focused on Max at all, the young 10-year-old boy played by Archie Yates. The movie is focused on Jeff and Pam, played by Rob Delaney and Ellie Camper. We see their struggles that they're going through, trying to get money, trying to raise money. All the while, they face the scrutiny of losing a job and trying to, get money in order to, have a nice, wonderful Christmas. And the reason they go to Max's house is because Max evidently stole this antique doll that is worth a ton of money and that could actually save Jeff and Pam from financial straits and financial ruin. This movie is really funny. I know it's getting a lot of crap and negative, reviews, and people are bashing it, being like, why is it being remade or done? It's not being remade. It's a different retelling of the story. And there is a nice touch where one of the characters, Jeff McKenzie's brother in this, he says that, why do they always have to remake the originals to just leave it alone? That was a nice touch to, nice little pun that they put in there. But the one thing that really is fun is that Buzz McAllister, yes, Kevin's brother from the first movie, is in this, and Devin Rattray is returning as that role. And there is a nice touch where Buzz actually reminisces about the first two Home Alone movies, about Kevin being home alone by himself, twice, evidently. Like he said, it's a great way Buzz's character reminisces and actually tells you the story, what happened, while, actually putting this in that story in this movie as well. It's really, really good. And the booby traps, in a way, are really different, but they're a callback to not only the first Home Alone movie, but Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. They have the fire, the everything, just the thumbtack, everything, the nail, everything is done in the same way, but very, very differently. You could say that some of the stuff in here is not as brutal as the first two movies. With Home Alone and Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, the booby traps aren't as brutal, but they're more intricate and more of so an idea. It's really, really fun. And like I said, if you want to watch this movie for being a remake, a reboot, it's not that at all. We're not focused on Max being home alone and trying to protect, and everything's just focused on him, because that's what the first movie was. It was Kevin McAllister being home alone, seeing what he does in order to try and stop burglars. But there actually is a true story behind this one, and the reason that Pam and Jeff are actually going to this house and breaking in is because of a certain reason. It's really good. The ending's very different, and I actually really enjoyed this movie a lot. It's a different take, a modern retelling of a classic movie that was based off of the script by John Hughes, and it's really, really fun, because who else better than John Hughes to do Home Alone, and having sort of that comedic Christmas feeling aspect to it was really good. Ellie Kemper is really hilarious in this. She really plays the role really well. She's that stay-at-home mom. She's that, but all of a sudden she has that mean streak about her, like she needs this doll. Same thing with Rob Delaney, and he's really, really underrated as an actor. And, he needs to do more things, because he's a very, very funny comedic actor. And putting Ellie Camper and Rob Delaney together was a really smart idea. There's a lot of callbacks to when the mother is trying to get back home. Aisling Bea is no Catherine O'Hara. We all know that. But she really stood on her own. And like I said, Max and his mother don't really have that big of a screen presence in this movie. Everything's focused on the characters of Jeff and Pam Mackenzie, played by Rob Delaney and Ellie Camper, because that's what this movie is about. And then you'll understand why people, if you watch it, you'll understand why this is not exactly the same movie of what, Macaulay Culkin starred in as Kevin McAllister in Home Alone. It's a total different movie with, an homage to Buzz being in there and retelling the story of what happened with his brother Kevin. Of course, it's received large negative reviews from film critics because I guess they don't enjoy a movie like this. They don't see the callbacks to the famous scenes that made, Home Alone and Home Alone 2 Lost in New York really, really popular. And, I wouldn't put negative reviews on this at all. You have to watch it in order to understand what this is. This is a really funny movie. Certain things that are said, the way the comedic timing is really good. It's somewhat dry comedy, but it's dry comedy done really, really well. And you have to see it to understand what's happening. And this is really good. We don't need more movies after this. This was a perfect way to have a callback to the original movie. And seeing Buzz in this was really good. Even though people wanted Macaulay Culkin as Kevin, that would have brought down the movie a little bit because it would have been focused on his character more instead of the character of Max and what he's going through. And we do have snippets of Max, staying home alone and trying to do his daily thing like he does, like jump on the bed, jump around, enjoy his own time, free time playing video games, doing certain things. But it's done in a different way than what Kevin did in the first Home Alone movie. For me, Home Sweet Home Alone gets 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely loved this movie. It was a great callback to the first Home Alone movie and even Home Alone 2 Lost in New York with the booby traps. And it was a different take on how the story was done, which I really, really enjoyed. It wasn't just centered on Max, who was just home alone, because then it would have been a total remake. And then this one is definitely a different retelling and rehashing of the first movie. So let me know in the comment section below what you thought about Home Sweet Home Alone. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? And will you be checking it out now that I reviewed it? And also let me know if you think it's a nice callback to the first Home Alone movie and Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. So let me know in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys in the next review video.